Tonight on KVR News, storm impact. Severe weather hits Austin, pounding the city with rain and hail.
It's a monumentous event happening.
The nation's former and current leaders come to Austin for the Civil Rights Summit. Hear from students excited for Obama to be on campus.
But not convinced. Why some UT students were calling out Obama for his own civil rights record.
You're watching KVR News.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening. You're watching KVR News for Monday, April 14th. I'm Alex Wilkins.
And I'm Cassandra Jaramillo. Severe weather rolled through Austin this morning, drenching people on their commute to work and class.
Austin picked up the largest daily rainfall total in the last 5 months. Nita Mandar joins us live in the Weather Center with more details.
That's right, Alex. Camp Mabry recorded 1.34 million inches of rain today as a cold front moved through the area.
It's marble size. Yep, ouch, ouch.
Severe thunderstorm warnings were issued this morning as hail up to golf ball size was reported in parts of Austin, along with gusty winds. Lightning was another major issue today. A man is in the hospital after a metal surface he was touching was struck by lightning. He was transported to Round Rock Medical Center with serious injuries. So how will this cold front affect the rest of your week? The full forecast is coming up later in this newscast. For now, live in the Weather Center, Nita Mandar, KVR News.
Thank you, Nita. Well, President Obama joined 3 former presidents at the Civil Rights Summit on the UT campus last week.
The Lyndon B. Johnson School of Public Affairs hosted the 3-day summit to mark the 50th anniversary of the signing of the 1964 Civil Rights Act.
KVR reporter Luqman Adeniyi was at the summit and joins us now live in the studio with more.
That's right, Cassandra. The summit brought together the nation's leaders and activists to discuss the future of civil rights advocacy in America. President Obama gave the keynote address Thursday honoring President Johnson and how he pushed forward with civil rights acts against the advice of those around him.
And one particularly bold aide said he did not believe a president should spend his time and power on lost causes, however worthy they might be. To which it is said, President Johnson replied, well, what the hell's the presidency for?
Other civil rights leaders attended the summit. Reverend Jesse Jackson said LBJ's partnership with Martin Luther King Jr. made the Civil Rights Acts possible.
Let's always speak of them as a do-it because we needed both of them. It's not like the Johnson could not have moved the legislation without the motivation of the masses, and they wouldn't have had an ally in the White House without President Johnson. You needed the 2 of them.
Many people were lined up along Dean Keaton and Trinity to see the presidential motorcade pass by, knowing when it says it's an opportunity of a lifetime.
That was kind of exciting. I'm an old lady yet. That's the first time I've actually seen one that close up.
Tickets to the summit were given out via lottery. More than 7,500 students registered in the first 24 hours. Tickets were also made available to the public. More than 20,000 people requested a ticket, but the Lady Bird Auditorium where the event was held only seats 1,000 people. For those who didn't get a ticket, the university set up a video screen on the main mall and live streamed the speeches by both President Obama and former President George W. Bush.
I would like to see our president speak, and since I couldn't be there in person, you know, this is the second best thing.
It's a powerful occasion. You know, it's been 50 years since the Civil Rights Act was signed in, and you know, LBJ's connection to the university and having the first black president here, the first president to actually create and implement health care reform, the first, you know, one of the youngest presidents since JFK. I think that he really connects with my generation, and I think it's really powerful for me to be here personally to see it. Granted, it would be better to see him in person, but I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to see it live.
The summit focused on the past and future of civil rights, touching not only on equality between races, but also between genders and sexual orientation. Speakers called on Americans to move forward with a more progressive outlook among the community. Live in the studio, I'm Luqman Adeniyi, KVR News.
Thank you, Luqman. Well, during last week's summit, some students felt that President Obama had no place to be speaking on the topic of civil rights. The University Leadership Initiative spent days protesting against Obama, wanting to make their concerns clear to the president and the public.
Under the hot sun and chained to the MLK statue, dreamers fought to get the attention from President Obama during his visit to Austin for the Civil Rights Summit.
We have nothing to lose being chained. We want Obama to hear us and to stop deporting more than the 2 million people he has already deported.
Vice President of University Leadership Initiative, Deborah Alamu, says that she wants their activism to bring rights to immigrants in the U.S.
Nothing has ever been passed in United States history without people pushing for some kind of relief.
In 2012, Obama authored the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, which is a discretionary grant of relief to defer removal of undocumented young people who are pursuing an education or serving in the military. DACA applicants do not have a green card or legal rights to remain in the country and cannot sponsor family members. For students like Juan Belman, the act is a disappointment for someone who expected more of his president.
He did say that he was going to help and step it up for our families, but as we see, he hasn't done that. He hasn't helped our families, he hasn't worked with our families. He instead has deported our family.
Immigration reform is still on standby due to a divided Congress, and the president, who was elected by the help of several Latino voters in 2012, has no executive action on immigration planned for 2014, leaving undocumented students and their families hopeless.
Well, police in Kansas are calling 2 shooting attacks a hate crime. 3 people were killed yesterday in shootings at 2 Jewish facilities in Overland Park near Kansas City on the eve of the Jewish holiday Passover. 73-year-old Fraser Glenn Cross was arrested in an elementary school parking lot near the scene of the attacks. A 14-year-old boy and his grandfather were killed at a community center. Another woman was killed at the retirement center 1 mile away. Cross allegedly has links to the KKK and reportedly shouted a Nazi slogan at cameras after he was arrested. The Associated Press reports that none of the victims killed were Jewish. Into the marathon bombing. Killing 3 and injuring hundreds more. Several ceremonies are being held around the country to honor the victims of the attack, including a large memorial in Boston that Vice President Joe Biden will attend. Suspect Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is currently awaiting trial. He could face a death penalty if convicted.
April is Sexual Harassment Awareness Month, and Voices Against Violence held its annual Take Back the Night event in front of the tower last week to confront the issues surrounding sexual violence. Event organizers say it's a time where survivors can express themselves and connect with support.
We have changed, we have really continued to just really draw more and more people to this movement and to this whole cause of making the campus a safer place for everyone.
The original artists of 2 Austin landmarks are fighting back to repair and update their vandalized works of art. Nita Mandar has more on the ostentatious and Tejas mural restoration.
2 murals located by the University Co-op are undergoing restoration after a graffiti tagging incident. 3 UT art students decided to leave their mark and paint the murals 40 years ago. This is the first time the murals have been vandalized, and artist Tommy Bauman says he never thought it would happen.
And we had, I think, kind of come to believe that people were so in love with them that it gave them some sort of mystical protection.
The University Co-op gave the artists permission and art supplies to paint the wall in 1974. They've donated $5,000 to help with the cost of repairs. Co-op Marketing Vice President Brian Jewell says that getting the murals fixed was extremely important.
When people talk about Austin, that mural, amongst a lot of other things, is what makes Austin Austin. We want to bring the past of 40 years back and have it live for as long as we can make it live.
All it takes is 1 can of spray paint and minutes to destroy a work of art that takes months to create. The new murals will be coated with the anti-graffiti spray. The University Co-op has also installed security cameras. The murals' total repair costs are estimated at $30,000. Although they don't think they will meet the total cost, they are willing to cut their losses.
We feel obligated to be here. I'm taking a pay cut of 50% to be down here working, and I wouldn't do that if it didn't mean just a whole lot to me, you know. It's clearly not about the money. It's about the art.
Nita, Mandar, KVR News.
Still to come, running to give back. How taking part in the Longhorn Run benefits the university.
And setting sail, how these engineering students are putting their skills to the test. This is KVR News, your campus, your news.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Longhorn Run participants are much more than just runners. They're also donating to the university. By registering and running in the race, participants are helping UT students make a difference. Rachel Robillard reports on how what starts here runs the world.
Whether you run the 10 kilometers or 2 miles, both routes are lined with people and supporters from different UT organizations. From Smokey the Cannon to the Longhorn Band, runners don't have a dull moment during the race.
I got approached by some girls I knew in my sorority, and they were telling me about this Longhorn Run and how it sponsors student government here at Texas. And I thought, I mean, I could run and I could donate to our student government because they do so much for our school. So it's kind of a good opportunity to do it for philanthropy and for myself.
Bringing the community together, the Longhorn Run benefits social justice programming through UT student government and recreational sports.
Giving back to others, especially UT students, is something that I really enjoy, so I want to be able to give back to other students and help their program succeed as well.
Proceeds from the race directly support student initiatives on campus, like the Student Government Excellence Fund, which is awarded annually to UT student service organizations committed to bettering the community, with activities like Plan 2 Volunteer Week.
We probably wouldn't have been able to have our event without Excellence Fund money because we spent a few $100s on it and we don't have a huge budget, so we use the money from student government to buy all of the supplies.
Another benefit of the race to the UT community is a healthier lifestyle.
Longhorn Run was a good excuse to be like, well, I've never run 6.2 miles, so I gave myself a couple weeks to train and I really set my mind to it, and I did it. And it feels good.
The Longhorn Run does everything possible to make sure participants are running for a reason: to be healthy and to give back. Rachel Robillard, KVR News.
UT was one of several colleges that took part in the Relay for Life this weekend. Maribel Santiago was at the event and explains how students were helping to fight cancer.
Student organizations from all over campus camped a night out in front of the main mall this weekend to take part in Colleges Against Cancer's Relay for Life. The night to morning event celebrates the lives of those who have suffered through cancer.
We have, up to 300 people here this year. It's so amazing how some teams get super excited and they make t-shirts, and even just staying up all night is a huge commitment.
Relay participants take on a sequence of laps in honor of the cancer survivors. Teams are introduced with an opening lap, then a luminary ceremony honoring loved ones, and a fight back ceremony to close off the event in the morning.
It's a great event, and we're all here for the same purpose. We're all here to raise money, and our main goal is just to have fun and help other people in Austin.
As cancer never sleeps, neither did the participants. Students stayed up for 12 hours to raise awareness of the cause. All kinds of entertainment occurred during the night, including guest speakers affected by cancer.
And he says, I don't even know how to tell you this, but your daughter has leukemia. And I know it's leukemia given your family history and given your blood cells.
By the end of the night, students managed to raise more than $16,000 for cancer patients and research. Maribel Santiago, KVR News.
Art this weekend as Art Alliance Austin hosted its annual Art City Austin Fair. The festival featured the works from 125 local, national, and international artists. More than $500 million worth of art is sold each year, allowing the artists to continue producing and showcasing their work. Art City Austin attracts up to 20,000 people, introducing Austinites to the city's creative culture.
So this is a way for these artists to make a living and keep showing and producing their work. And so there's certainly a collector appeal for it. In addition, it's just a great time, and because we have all these different activities with music, we try to make it sort of a complete cultural experience.
Well, today's storms have temporarily delayed the closure of Red River Street ahead of the construction of the new Dell Medical School. Red River is scheduled to close between MLK and 15th Street through the end of the year. The work will also affect several Cap Metro routes. 9 nearby stops will close until 2015. Work crews are hoping the road closure can occur this evening, but it may come tomorrow morning instead. The Dell Medical School is scheduled to open in 2016.
A new organization on campus hosted the university's first cardboard regatta competition at Gregory Pool on Friday. Leslie Adami reports on how the Engineering 2016 class council is making quite the splash.
The Gregory Gym Pool hosted the first annual cardboard regatta put on by the Engineering Class of 2016 Council last Friday. The council was started up just this past year by students in the Cockrell School of Engineering who believed the school needed an organization to bring graduating classes together.
Well, it's all about graduating in 4 years, so they decided to create these class councils. So it's a council dedicated to providing events and services for an engineering class of a certain year. So it's all about, getting that graduation rate and knowing the people that you're graduating with, and so you want to stay with them and graduate with them on time.
For the cardboard regatta, students are invited to put their engineering skills to the test by assembling boats that will set sail across the Gregory Gym Pool, made solely out of cardboard and some duct tape.
We thought it'd be a fun way to kind of do an engineering project, but not too serious, like a little more fun. We can have fun outside while still doing some engineering.
So the boat is made out of cardboard and tape, duct tape, and it took about 10 hours to make. I did it with my girlfriend, and I thought that was a really good time to share some time together. We hope to win, so let's go race.
Teams of up to 4 to 6 students competed to sail their boats to the finish line. Boats of all shapes and sizes were entered to compete, but in the end it was Team Friendship who took the win. Others weren't as successful, and as all good captains do, they too went down with their ship.
Yeah, it was a great experience actually. I've never actually done anything like this. This is totally different. Feels great.
And we'd love to continue doing this, at all possible.
Leslie Adami, KVR News.
This year's hurricane season is expected to be quieter than normal. The yearly forecast from Colorado State University calls for a below-average number of tropical storms and hurricanes. The forecast is for 9 tropical storms, 3 of which will intensify into hurricanes. 1 major hurricane of Category 3 or higher is predicted, and the hurricane season runs from June 1st through November 30th.
Weather out there this morning as severe storms rolled through Austin.
Yes, Nita Mandar is in the Weather Center with your forecast. Any more rain this week, Nita?
It looks like it'll be a quieter week ahead, Cassandra, but another chance of rain toward the weekend. I'll have the full details next.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News Tip Line, 475-8181.
Welcome back to KVR News. After this morning's severe storms, the skies cleared, giving way to a beautiful sunshine this afternoon. We are, though, expecting even more rain later this week. Winds were also pretty crazy today, gusting up to 20 miles per hour. Strong winds could continue overnight. They should calm down tomorrow before picking up again on Wednesday. It will also be a very cold night tonight, with temperatures expected to fall to about 37 degrees. Enjoy the sunshine tomorrow and a high temperature of 67, about 20 degrees below what we've been seeing. Over the past few days, temperatures overnight will also plummet to the low 40s Tuesday night. Winds are expected to pick up on Wednesday, gusting as high as 20 miles per hour, but there will still be plenty of sunshine on Wednesday. Clouds roll in on Thursday, bringing with them a 20% chance of rain and thunderstorms. Continuing into Friday, temperatures will also be ranging from the upper 70s to the low 60s overnight. The rain and storms continue this weekend with a 30% chance Saturday and 20% on Sunday. Temperatures will be climbing into the upper 70s, so it could be pretty humid out this Easter weekend. So take advantage of the sunshine tomorrow and Wednesday. And remember your umbrellas as you step out the door toward the end of the week. Live in the Weather Center, Nita Mandar, KVR News.
All right, thanks. And still coming up, a big blow to the Longhorn football team. See which player is out for the rest of the semester.
And Jordan Spieth shines at the Masters, where his performance ranks in the history books. You're watching KVR News.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm College Press Box's Loana Solis. Lifetime Longhorn Jordan Spieth tied for second at the Masters this weekend. He began Sunday's round in the final pairing. Spieth would have been the youngest golfer to ever win a Masters at the age of 20. Jordan shot down even on Sunday to finish at 5 under in the tournament. But it was 2012 Masters champion Bubba Watson who finished 8 under for the tournament, claiming his second green jacket. Spieth seeks his first major championship in June at the U.S. Open. Back in Austin, Texas Athletics announced Friday Longhorn quarterback David Ash sustained a fracture in his left foot during a spring practice. Ash will undergo surgery this week and will miss the remaining of the spring season. The quarterback is expected to return for UT's preseason camp. The Big 12 has granted Ash a medical hardship waiver for the last season and will enter 2014 as a junior. The rest of the team will be on display on Saturday at the annual Texas Orange and White spring game. On to baseball. The number 7 ranked Texas traveled up I-35 to take on their rival, the Oklahoma Sooners, this weekend. On Friday, the Longhorns won 8-10 innings. Brooks Marlowe's bases loaded walk secured the win. Saturday's win came thanks to a strong offensive showing of each of the 9 starters had at least 1 hit. And on Sunday, senior pitcher Nathan Thornhill had a season-high 6 strikeouts that led Texas to 8-1 win. The Longhorns finished off their second straight Big 12 series and now lead the conference overall. All right, thanks, Loana. And coming up next, Leslie Adami has your entertainment news. What's on the rundown tonight, Leslie?
Well, Hollywood actors show some skin at the MTV Movie Awards, and Beyonce facing controversy. Find out why one picture is causing so much buzz ahead on KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. Conan O'Brien hosted this year's MTV Movie Awards last night, but all eyes are on Zac Efron as he showed some skin, taking off his shirt after winning the award for Best Shirtless Performance for that awkward moment. Catching Fire won Movie of the Year, and The Hunger Games stars Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson won the awards for Best Female and Best Male Performances for their roles in the second movie. The ceremony had a heartwarming tribute dedicated to Paul Walker, showing clips of many of his performances. Walker died back in December in a car crash. Beyonce has been under fire from fans, all stemming from a vacation pic she posted on Instagram last week. In the photo, Beyonce is posing on a golf course, and it's getting a lot of attention from people for a possible Photoshop alteration. Fans are claiming that Beyonce's thigh gap in the photo looks unnatural, and that the image was edited to look like the singer had slimmer thighs. One Instagram user simply commented, "Where are Beyonce's legs?" The singer has not responded to the claims. And that's all your entertainment news this week. I'm Leslie Adami.
Thanks, Leslie. And thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Alex Wilkins.
And I'm Cassandra Jaramillo. For news and weather updates throughout the week, you can follow us on Twitter at KVR News.
Stay tuned for College Press Box up next on Texas Student Television. Have a great night.